Okay, what I'm about to talk about, I don't know how to break through to some people, so I'm going to use an example of something that happened to me so that I can segue into what I'm about to talk about in this video. Do not get caught up on the example. The video is not about the example necessarily. Okay, so way back in my pick-me era, I was talking to this guy who was a different religion. I'm not going to say what the religion is because I don't feel like hearing it from y'all, but it wasn't Christianity, okay? So as I'm talking to him and I'm getting to know him, I'm like, so tell me about your religion. And he gets this excited look on his face that's also a little bit, I don't know if sinister is the correct word that I'm looking for. And he gets excited and he goes, well, yeah, in my religion, the woman has to do everything the man says. She has to do everything he tells her to do. And I remember even at the height of my pick-me era, I couldn't control my face. And I was looking at him like, wow, he really thinks I'm fucking dumb, right? Now, I'm going to be able to tell if you didn't watch the whole video because that is simply an example. This is what I'm talking about. This is the point I'm trying to get to here. For all the Christians who believe in Christianity that was taught to them by white slave owners, much like that dude that tried to get me to believe that the whole purpose for a woman in his religion is to serve him, that's why white slave owners taught that shit to our ancestors. And before you even fucking say, well, there was Christianity in Africa, even if there was, you know good and goddamn well that's not the Christianity that you believe in. You're in fucking denial. You believe in the Christianity that was taught to our ancestors by white slave owners so that they can convince us to be humble and to be happy with the BS scraps they were handing us, to be humble and happy when they assaulted us and took us off the face of the planet permanently. They taught us that religion to teach us to be humble and happy if we got a nice master who didn't necessarily beat us. And it's the same Christianity that has trickled down throughout generations that causes us to forgive people who do heinous shit to us, to our friends, and to our family members. It is that same religion that has trickled down throughout the years that causes us to give out fucking cookout invites to any and everyone because they can mouth the words to a rap song. Residual effects also included in this of that type of Christianity that has trickled down through generations is believing that marriage is the most important thing that a woman can do, being a wife, being a mom. Very similar to what the young man was telling me way back when. It's that same trickle down that has us thinking that I would rather be abused and cheated on because at least I got me a husband. And whenever I share these things, so many Christians will be like, I'm praying for you. I hope you gain clarity. I am not the one who needs to gain clarity. Okay? And if there's any prayers to be given, they need to be given to you. I'm telling you, white folks did their big one. Even those of y'all who are like, I'm Christian and I agree with you. You're still believing in what white folks taught us to believe in way back when our ancestors were enslaved. And I don't care if you wear skinny jeans, interesting hair colors, listen to Christian rap, don't go to church, you're still a part of the master plan that white folks had. And all these hundreds of years later, I'm telling you, white folks did their big one. I have to give them that because it still has our minds warped and perfectly trained hundreds of years later, to the point where people are literally afraid to even question the shit that they're believing in. People are giving money that they don't have to a church that wouldn't do anything for. I remember I went to therapy years ago and I was telling my therapist, I said, I'm afraid to stop tithing because I don't want bad things to happen to me. And we sat and we took a calculator and calculated all the money I was giving this church, and she was like, Jules, that could have solved a lot of the financial issues that you've had over the last several years trying to rebuild your life as a single mom. And you're giving that to a church? And I'm not saying that you can't be generous and give to charities and people, but you need to do that still being smart about it and not giving money that could be putting food in your family's mouths and keeping the lights on. Out of all the harmful things that white folks have done to us throughout the years, y'all think that their motives for teaching us Christianity was good? Like, that's where y'all draw the line? Okay.